What's happening, folks? Back with another Pet Shop Boys reaction, and I find myself in a bit of a pickle. Allow me to explain. Okay, so first of all, big shout out to Seb, massive friend and champion of the channel, sharing Pet Shop Boys with me. But I went into the folder, and the last track I reacted to was "It Must Be Obvious." So that was track 11 in this expanded folder with B-sides and bonus tunes for Behavior. So I went back in and I looked in the track listing, and track 11, It Must Be Obvious, wasn't there anymore, and it shows Violence, which is a track from Please, but then it was called the Hacienda version, which, I was like, oh, so we're going to have some Spanish guitar, maybe some castanets, it's going to have a Spanish flavor. So it's like, oh, well, I don't know why, It Must Be Obvious isn't in the file or in the folder anymore. Maybe I accidentally deleted it? I'm not sure. But so I was like, okay, so I downloaded Violence, the Hacienda version, start a video, okay, so yeah, it's going to sound more Spanish. I start the track, I'm like, wait, isn't this It Must Be Obvious? And then it gets to the point where it says the line, It Must Be Obvious. I'm like, It Must Be Obvious. And I look at the metadata, and it says It Must Be Obvious. So, which now it's meta comedy. So I was like, okay, well, forget it, sorry, scrap the video, because I had already reacted to that tune. So I was like, okay, maybe I deleted the track and I caused some issue with the track listing. So I went back to the folder, and the next tune is listed as Decadence. I'm like, okay, I reacted to a Duran tune of the same name. We're talking wicked, immoral indulgence, the pursuit of pleasure or satisfaction without concern to the well-being or safety of others. And perhaps indicating a sort of a mindset that is addictive. Nevertheless, I loaded it up on I put it in the folder on my music computer for the expanded folder for Behavior, and I noticed in the metadata that it has another title, which is We All Feel, what is it? We All Feel Better in the Dark. So I go on Discogs, and there's tunes by both names. There's a Pet Shop Boys tune called Decadence, which is from 1994, and that is 3:55 in length. And then there's also a track called We All Feel Better in the Dark. That's from a release called Being Boring, or the single, sorry, for Being Boring. So I'm assuming that that's actually the one, and I'm inclined to think that also because that track is listed on Discogs as being 3:59, and the file for this track here is 4 minutes exactly, whereas Decadence is listed as being 3:55. So I don't know why it's called Decadence. I don't know what's going on in there, and that's not, me complaining or anything. That's just me, I was confused and I thought maybe I deleted something. Either way, I'm going to assume that this is We All Feel Better in the Dark. So to think about that phrase for a minute, the idea seems a bit counterintuitive. Humans, both in our mythologies and our individual anecdotes and perhaps just our psycho-emotional feelings, especially when we're younger, and when you find yourself in the dark, it feels uncertain, you're a little more worried, it feels a bit scary. So We All Feel Better in the Dark, it feels counterintuitive, but I feel like there's likely to be some socio-cultural context here, some situation in which the word dark either has figurative meaning, or whether it's about not wanting to be in the light when where everyone can see you, and perhaps feeling safer when you're in the background, in the shadows. So I feel like it could have either positive or negative connotations, but either way, on the surface of it, it feels flipped from what most humans would say, certainly younger humans. So let's find out what it actually is. This is, I think, Pet Shop Boys, We All Feel Better in the Dark, a track that's the B-side to the Being Boring single.
The secrets of sexual attraction.
Some electrical grime. always there's some bass line in this song. I remember. Someone told me we were gonna hear Chris rapping. Also Neil. Those little voices, like high-pitched shouts or whatever. Number one, I think that's a 303. Number two, it sounds like it's playing this. That moment just completely won me over. So, like about being at dance parties, being a bit anonymous, maybe. In London, you know you really want it. You can tell, like. Oh my God.
In the dark.
Neil's voice can make anything better. But I was gonna say, like, you know, when I reacted to the tune that in the moment I'm forgetting the name of, but it was like super acid housey, like twisted, wicked acid. I was like stunned, and there were a few people who were like, "This isn't my favorite from Pet Shop Boys. It's a little out there for them." But people also commented that, you know, Chris was definitely interested in the early rave scene, and you know, as part of his influences at like that phase. There are tracks where I can feel like an early techno, or at least some of the sonic elements could fit very much in a proto techno, early techno vein. There's a couple elements in this one where again you can feel that, and that's one of them is what I think was a 303, or again hardware clone. Either way, it had that 303 or acidy bit. There's a melody. It's actually from a Tetris style game called Columns, and the theme is called Clotho. But I think it's like based on an ancient Greek musical fragment that survives. Either way, like it had a similar cyclical rhythm to it. So like my brain was sort of like, getting hypnotized a bit by that, and then I was like, the Chris's vocals, they were very cyclical themselves, and like what was it, you want it, I forget what the line before that was, but it had like a rhythmic rhyme to it, and then all of a sudden it was like the breath pulled out of the tune, and then boom, it came back in with the the full chorus. And that moment was particularly fantastic. So I don't know. My best guess is the lyrics is that we're talking again like dance floor, like it's hard to be in life, hard to be at work, hard to be in relationships and deal with that, but it's easy to have fun and to go to dance parties and to just, let loose and, kind of feel the excitement of the music and, be among friends and, or at least, people who are similarly exuberant. And indeed, maybe being anonymous is, part of that feeling that like you just feel better because you don't feel pressure, you don't feel anyone's requirements or demands on you other than just to have fun in that moment. I just went to a techno party and posted a video about it, and that going to techno parties, that's part of just like I love this music, and sometimes I don't want to like think about what I have to do later this week or what happened at work earlier or whatever. I just want to go listen to some loud techno music and have fun. So that's my best guess. I feel like even if that's part of it, there's probably more to it than that. And there may be a more like specifically personal angle, but again, it is making reference to we all. Like it's not just him. It's not just him and one other person. It's a number of people who perhaps take refuge in whatever situation is being discussed. So yeah, ultimately a cool tune. We'll figure out what's going on with the B-sides. I did want to mention, and I will have a video about this, but yeah, the next week and a half, there's going to be few regular reactions because I'm just making sure that I follow through on a number of holiday video plans. Not only music reactions, but also some retrospective videos and certain deep dives that I've been doing for a very long time. I'm doing a holiday riff, so just a number of things that I need to work on, and I just want to make sure that I don't drop the ball, because, other reactions I could do any time of the year, even though I know people are waiting for them, and I do try to get back around as quickly as I can. Like I said, regular music reactions, they can happen whenever, but like holiday-related reactions, I do have sort of a tight window, and my birthday is in literally a week from today by the time you'll be seeing this. It's the 18th, so obviously that day and the day before it, I'll be doing some stuff related to, family and so on, and then, the week leading up to Christmas, it's always very busy with stuff, so I'll do my best to keep putting out at least a few regular reactions here and there, but for the next 4 or 5 days in particular, there probably won't be many at all. So just bear with me. I appreciate the patience. We'll get back to everything, and I hope some people will be here for the holiday stuff that I have coming. So let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.